What if I told you that every conversation you've ever had was a power game, and you didn't even know you were playing? The people who always seem to win arguments, who get what they want, who command every room they walk into, they're not smarter than you. They just understand one thing that you don't. Yet, by the end of this video, you will too. In psychology, there's a concept called frame control. Every conversation has a frame. It's the underlying context that defines who has power, what's being discussed, and whose reality is being accepted. Think of it like this. The person who controls the frame controls the conversation, and most people don't even know frames exist, which means they lose before they even open their mouth. Today, I'm going to show you 5 frame control techniques that the most influential people in the world use. In business, in relationships, and in everyday life. Technique number 1, reframing. This is the most powerful communication tool you'll ever learn. Reframing means changing the meaning of what someone said without changing the facts. Example, someone says, "You're too quiet." A weak response is defending yourself. A reframe? "I prefer to listen before I speak." Most people don't have that discipline. Same fact, "You're quiet." Completely different meaning. Reframing shifts the frame from their judgment to your strength, and the person who defines the meaning wins the conversation. Technique number 2, agree and amplify. When someone tries to put you down or test you, instead of getting defensive, you agree, and then exaggerate it to the point of absurdity. Someone says, "You think you're always right, don't you?" You say, "Always? I'm right about things I haven't even thought of yet." It's playful, it's confident, and most importantly, it completely disarms the attack because you didn't react emotionally. This technique works because the attacker expects resistance. When you don't give them resistance, their frame collapses. Technique number 3, strategic silence. Most people are terrified of silence in conversation. They rush to fill it, they over-explain, they backpedal. But powerful communicators know that silence is the ultimate frame control tool. When someone asks you a loaded question, try this. Pause for 3 to 5 seconds before responding. Look them in the eye. Let the silence sit. What happens? The other person starts to feel uncomfortable. They start second-guessing their own question. And when you finally respond, your words carry 10 times more weight. FBI negotiators use this technique. Therapists use it. CEOs use it. Silence isn't empty, it's full of power. Technique number 4, presupposition. This is a language pattern that embeds an assumption inside a question or statement, making the other person accept your frame without realizing it. Instead of asking, "Do you want to go out this weekend?" which gives them the option to say no, you ask, "Would you prefer Saturday or Sunday?" You've presupposed the answer is yes. The only question is when. Salespeople, lawyers, and leaders use presupposition constantly. When you start seeing results, after you've made your decision, these phrases assume the outcome before it happens. And your brain? It tends to follow the assumption. And technique number 5, disqualification. This is the art of subtly communicating that you are not trying to impress the other person. In a world where everyone is trying to prove themselves, the person who seems like they don't need approval instantly becomes the most interesting person in the room. It sounds counterintuitive, but when you disqualify yourself from the competition, when you act as though you have nothing to prove, people are drawn to you because confidence doesn't chase, confidence attracts. A simple example, instead of bragging about your achievements, casually mention them and move on. Don't linger, don't explain. Let the other person wonder. Here's the truth most people will never accept. Communication is not about what you say. It's about the frame you set before you say it. Master these 5 techniques, and you won't just control conversations. You'll understand why people react the way they do. If this made you think differently, subscribe to Think and Observe. We go deeper into the psychology of influence, power, and human behavior every single week. See what others miss.